Welcome back to Beyond the DJ Booth. I'm Brian B.
And I'm Joe Bunn.
Is this kind of like another hand gesture?
I'm pointing to the TV that I spent so much time hanging. I was pretty impressed with myself anyway.
I was too. So
yeah,
we were talking about how we should open today's show.
Yeah.
We've definitely stepped it up every time. We started on the lowest common denominator and worked our way up. So let's talk food.
Okay. We just ordered something.
Right. So you picked a sandwich spot. Like, I'm
see?
surprised that you went with that one. Like, what's your go-to sandwich spot?
Well, okay.
I was kind of shocked by the pick.
I know you were. I know. Here's the thing. My go-tos are always going to be, even in the coffee range, Independence.
Okay.
So for me, being near Village District, formerly Cameron Village,
I didn't know they changed the name. Okay.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Saquon's like, hey. Post George Floyd, everything with any sort of a racist name. So this guy, Cameron, last name, turned out to be some sort of a bad person.
Known.
You weren't here then.
Okay.
You weren't here, to be fair.
Got it.
My son's middle school, multiple statues. Yeah, it was a thing. They had to come down.
Okay.
It was over.
But your favorite
Cameron Village, now Village District. I'm going to go Cafe Carolina, a absolute staple, delicious, or Village Deli. Okay, but their delivery is not very good.
Even they don't do Uber Eats.
They do. However, by the time it gets here, it's fucked up. It's not good. Not good. So
it's soggy.
Soggy.
What's
At Village Deli, I want to go hot sub. So I want to go Philly chicken and cheese.
Yeah.
No peppers, no onions.
Just cold.
Cold.
Wow.
Cheese is all gooey. It's all amalgamated. I made that word up. Or just soggy.
Okay.
Whereas Jersey Mike's, the choice you were flabbergasted at, is just quick, easy. It's right there on P Street.
Yeah.
It's just I go cold sub from there.
Okay.
I go roast beef and provoline.
Okay. I thought you were
number 6.
Now I'm drawing a blank on the freaking.
What's that one? The Freaky Fast or whatever it's called.
No. It's
Don't say Subway.
No. Jimmy John's.
I knew you were gonna say Jimmy John's.
That is my go-to. Like, I will eat a Jimmy John's before every show because it's just like it's gonna hold you over. The bread is incredible.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. I do fuck with Jimmy John's, but it is too. I think it's out of the delivery zone here. Because it's way down Wake Forest.
Got it.
So anyway, now I'm gonna say this: Subway is disgusting. By the way,
wow.
Yeah,
some hate,
dude. When you go and you stand online and you like, give me this, that. If you look at the meat, it's got like a rainbow film on it. I'm no cap. Like it's an actual like iridescent film on like the turkey. It's vile. But I will say this. In terms of fast food sub places, so not independent. I don't know if you've ever been there. Penn Station.
No, I actually have been there.
You ever fuck with Penn Station, Saquon?
I feel, first of all, it's like you might as well get a mortgage to eat at that place.
Why? Is it expensive?
It's super expensive for
But wait, you have had it.
I have had it.
And it hits.
I mean,
they got that thing. Remember Quiznos when those used to be in business? They have that little conveyor oven that it cruises through.
Okay. It's been a little bit.
I'm just saying.
Well, they have a new one that just opened up in town.
Really? Penn Station?
No, it's over by like Jaguar, wherever that, next to where you used to get your hair cut back in the day.
Yeah, that doesn't count. That's an independent. It's good.
And that's solid. But
is.
That's also
a
mortgage.
No. Dude, I had to sell my truck to get a damn sub there. It was crazy.
With the wife and the kid, I was like, a hundo? A hundo for 3 sandwiches? This is insane. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, I had chips or whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's
still,
crazy.
I'm like,
yeah. So we went Jersey Mike's today.
Okay.
All right. Move on.
Let's
All
move
right.
on.
What are we moving into? You want to talk about a song? You got a song for me today?
We can. I know we talked about T Swift recently.
Yeah, we did.
So I'll play you a blend that I've been kind of digging. I made my own edit of this. This is with.
Well, you actually made this.
No. Let me correct that real quickly. I did not make this edit.
I was about to say.
No.
Bro, I've seen some feuds go down online where people claim to have made an edit.
No, I did not make this. I make edits of the edits.
Yes. Right.
So for me, a lot of times these edits are the break is too long. Like they'll have a breakdown, and I'm like, people are just, it's not meant for a mobile. Maybe for a club potentially, but I also feel like even then, like people's ADD kicks in. They want to get
leave,
into it.
right? They go eat a
And some
Jersey
of them
Mike's.
yeah, but not Subway. But here's one of the things that break sometimes is needed at times to kind of like have a slowdown, so you don't have to go to an Elvis Presley track or whatever.
Right.
But this blend specifically, I like it because the song "Heroes," which is kind of an older EDM track.
I love that song.
Right, this goes with it.
Tove Lo, whatever her name is, Tove Lo.
So this is the one. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the Taylor Swift's specific track, but it's not "Love Story."
Okay.
But it's one that crushes right now. So this is Peak Hour.
Okay.
I think you could drop this.
Let me hear this.
Said she's going off about something that you said. She doesn't get your humor like I
Crucial.
do. 'Cause she wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers, dreaming about the day when you wake up and find that what you're looking for has been here the whole time. If you could see that I'm
You're right.
Yeah.
It is Love Story. Sorry.
Can't you see? No, it didn't.
It isn't Love Story.
You belong to me.
You belong to me. That's what it was. That's what I thought.
Damn, you can tell we're major Swifties.
Jeez. I knew it was not Love Story.
Sorry, you're right.
You steered me in
I
the wrong
messed
direction.
up. I'm sorry.
But
Shout
I'm
out all
just
the
saying,
Swifties that just absolutely shitted and turned off the show.
But I think you could play it for the ride.
1,000%.
I think you could play it for a dance floor banger.
1,000%.
Later, because then it kicks into the actual like little synth line.
Right,
that has,
right.
Like everyone's just fist pumping.
I love
Jersey
that
style.
song, Heroes, just to be fair.
Are you
I
playing
don't-
that?
No, I don't play it. And I never really did, or maybe I did when it was at its peak or whatever.
Right.
But I love this just because she's hot and the songs always go over. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was a big, both of those songs were big, and so when you put them together, they equal still big. Even though both of those songs are old now, like it's
Totally.
still going to go over because not many people have had that, or heard that blend.
And that's why I think is important too is to stand out these days. Like it's not just where you program the song, but hearing it in a different way that still makes sense. Like you can get so obscure with it, you have to be really careful with it.
I agree.
But like those two songs were both bangers in their day.
Sure.
And I feel like they work well together.
But I also heard some DJs saying like, something the other day on Facebook, like, oh, having these, hot edits or these hard to find or rare edits are what makes you stand out. Number one, your audience, you're only going to, if you're a mobile DJ, a private event DJ, you're only going to see once a year. So it's not like they're going to see you at 10 different events and hear that Taylor Swift blend, right?
Right.
Like, and go, man, I've heard this shit before from him.
Right.
Like, this is washed up. Like, they're not. They might get invited to 2-3 weddings a year if they're lucky and social people. So I get what people are saying, but I also think I can play a radio edit and sprinkle in some blends that are, again, poignant, like relevant blends.
Totally.
And still have people like blown away. You know what I mean?
agree.
Like, I don't feel like every song has to be edit into edit into edit into edit. Like, and what I really like irks my nerve is like when you play an edit and it's two songs that I would have played separately.
Right.
Like, I love that We Found Love with I Want to Dance with Somebody, whoever made that out, shout them out. Scooter made that. That's beautiful, right? I get it. But I want to hear We Found Love, and I want to hear a better edit than the original, but just some like redrum or whatever.
Right.
I usually play an edit that one of my DJs made of I Want to Dance with Somebody. And other than the very beginning, it's pretty much as it was played in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That sometimes that drives me nuts when you're
And I think the other thing if you're playing blends all night, nothing will stand out because it's all blended together.
right.
Like, it feels
just
like
confuses a listener almost.
Totally.
Like they're sitting there dancing one like, oh, this is interesting, but what is it? Like now you're going like, oh, that's the so-and-so vocal, but what is this track? It's driving me crazy. Like,
So as much as
don't
I
know.
showcase blends,
Yeah.
for me, they're like the limited piece of my playing.
Sure.
I'm usually playing the originals
a sprinkle.
with short edits of them.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like these that way these ones that I do have do stand out.
Well, speaking of, you were just talking about a show you have coming up, and you were saying that the guy actually went the opposite of what most people are saying now, and he wanted you to play long edits.
To be fair, he's older. So
Okay.
he's
Like older than me.
he's close. He is actually. But he was like, hey, he was saying that 3 minutes was short. And I was trying to say, it's not really that short. I mean, most songs these days
Now,
are
a
like
pop song is max 3 minutes.
right. So,
But even like a Signed, Sealed, Delivered or like a My Girl isn't much longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think he was he specifically referenced Stairway to Heaven. Like, I don't want to hear,
Jesus.
I'm like, well, that's 7 minutes long. Don't worry. We're not even going to get to that song anyway.
You know, that
probably.
was when I first started, that was my go-to.
Stairway to Heaven?
Well, I was playing teen dances when we were all 13 and
Yeah.
all my friends were 13 and they wanted to slow dance with a girl and it was super long. And also I didn't have enough music to play. So every hour I would just play Stairway to Heaven.
Wow.
Yeah. And it would eat up like 7 minutes of my set.
Dude, another one like that, American Pie. Right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like 12 minutes long.
Yeah, no,
I'm like,
it's even worse.
It's crazy. Yeah. So, anyways, short edits is the way to go, I think, these days.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got an older
Yeah.
crowd. Because you can go too short too, right?
Oh, there's no doubt. Like,
so it's got to be a.
people are really on these guys' nuts. Two friends. You like these guys?
I mean, I like them. Yeah.
Look, I like them as well, but like number one, it's not DJing.
Right.
It's sequencing.
Right.
I call it sequencing. It's on Ableton.
Right.
They're not playing it live.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do in their live show. Like they'll never hear this. If they do, shout out Two Friends. I like them, the big booty mixes, but it's almost too fast.
Right.
Like Ashley was playing it the other day at Volare for the 45-minute ride, indoor cycling class, and it was like it didn't even let the song breathe. Like it was almost just like a line. I don't even think I got a chorus, and then it was just on to the next thing. And some of the stuff I was like, man, Let It Be by the Beatles is just, if you're going to sit there and chop that up, that's sacrilege.
There's a few like that.
That's
you can't mess
fucking, what are you doing? That's the Beatles. That's crazy. Not even that I'm a huge Beatles fan, but I'm like,
Yeah.
anyway, you don't trap out Let It Be. It's just, what are we doing here, like musically? Anyway, shout out Two Friends. I don't know if I didn't really give them a compliment, I guess, but they're geniuses at what they do.
Right.
Like, because this stuff is in key and they are just ripping through hundreds of songs in those big booty mixes. So if you want to hear somebody.
And I also think it's a wedding event is completely different.
A trillion times different than what, even Dave, we had Digital Dave on this mentor call that Brian and I do with Jason the other night. And he was saying how many songs he played at those long club sets. And I was like, dude, that is crazy.
Yeah.
With those super long sets, he's playing 300 songs or something. Anyway, let's get into the question of the day from one of our listeners here.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, read it.
Thank you, Saquon, for putting it on the screen here.
Yes, sir.
Scott Arnold.
I
am currently in the process of expanding.
Oh, yeah. He doubled it. He doubled that. I didn't do that.
Okay.
Don't shit on me for the double ofs.
And adding a second DJ to my company.
Yes.
He will be a subcontractor, and I'm trying to figure out the comp structure. I was thinking of a percentage structure. What do you recommend?
Comp structure meaning pay, like how he's going to pay this person. All right, I just hit the mic. Sorry. I'm going to disclaimer this first. I'm going to say this. We're not going to talk about on this episode or maybe ever subs versus employees.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into this. I don't want to talk about it. It's been dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
However you want to pay your people, pay your people. But in this particular case, we're just talking about how he's going to pay this person. We'll just call him a person.
Yeah.
Whether they're sub, employee, whatever. Do you want to speak on it first?
I can.
Go ahead.
I would say transparency is king. Number one.
You mean upfront when they come on board?
Yeah, let them know. This is. I mean, to the point where like all the guys that work with me, which are subcontractors. Again, we're not going to get into it, but they know what the client paid. Like I have no problem sharing that.
Same.
And I feel like the percentage is the better mechanism than like a flat rate.
Same.
Just because it's easy to calculate. Honestly, it's mainly for my benefit than to know profit margins, things like that, because I'm doing it on a percentage rather than a flat rate, which could, in some cases, help you if you are charging way more than if with a flat rate. Like if I charged $100 as opposed to $1,000, my profit margin is going to go way up, right? But like to keep track of all of that, I just feel like there's a little bit of layer of non-transparency that
Yeah.
can come in there, and people feel like they're taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Whatever. The percentage model is, I feel like, the best model.
Yeah.
Where that is on the percentage structure is always going to vary. I don't think there's the perfect number
I
per
don't
se.
either. Yeah.
I mean, I've got some guys on our team that, we've structured it so differently that they could be at 80%. Like, we're taking a normal
Oh, that's right.
booking
But
fee.
you're looking at that more like an agency thing.
agency model. Yeah.
Where you're
Whereas-
having to bring in like Drew from LA to
Right.
do a gig in Florida.
Totally.
Right. I got you.
But you can't pay your bills on 20%.
No, right.
That I know of. So
No.
that has to be like set up in a certain way where it would make sense for your business.
Yeah.
I don't know. Most companies I hear are 50% ish at
Yeah.
the top,
Right.
but usually between 30 and 50, somewhere in that range.
That's what I was going to say. For us, I'll usually start somebody at about 40%, and they can work their way up to 50. 50 is kind of the cap here.
Right.
And again, I'm not really running an agency per se. I mean, I guess I am and I'm not, right?
Right.
Most of the people are very loyal to the brand. You have to be really to work here.
Right.
Now, do they go out and make $300 on a Friday at some little bar down the street? 100%. Do I take any of that? Absolutely not.
Right.
Do I hope they're representing the company? If somebody comes up at a bachelorette party and goes, man, we've had the best time. Can I get your card? And they give them a Bun DJ company card with their name on it.
Yeah.
Yes, I do hope that as well. So I kind of tend to run in that 40 to 50% range.
I like what you said, though, that you have the window to go up.
Yes,
If
that's
you
right.
start too high,
That's right.
you've maxed your guy out.
You've got
There's
nowhere
you
else
can
to
go. So
And,
ideally,
and I think that there are, yearly reviews kind of help. Are you happy? Do you feel like you're making enough money? Sometimes I've heard, this was years ago, I'd hear some kind of backdoor chatter from like Randy be like, man, there's some guys kind of chattering, about, getting more money. And I'll immediately shut it down, send out an email or whatever and be like, hey, Randy doesn't write the checks. I do. Like, if you have a problem with your money, come to me privately. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
And especially, I'm going to be flexible or negotiable with somebody that's a soldier, somebody
Right.
that's been here, or
Right.
somebody that's made me money. I've got no problem having that conversation and bumping you up a few points.
right.
And that few points, if you're making a lot of money, is a good amount of money. Even if you bump them up 2 or 3% and you go, look, you did this, whatever, X dollars amount this year. And again, just like you, they can see the contract. They know what they're getting paid on every show. If I add 5 more percent, you're going to make 5 more percent equals this many dollars.
Right.
Like sometimes you have to really spell it out.
Oh, yeah.
Because 5% doesn't sound like a lot. But if you really show them, hey, next year you do the same amount of shows, you're going to make whatever.
So, do you have like any auto kickers when it comes to the percentage? Like, you got to do so many shows, or like, they get so many reviews.
No, man. For me, it's like a feeling. You know what I mean? Or they approach me and go, hey, man, can I get some more money? And I've had people approach me and ask for that had not proven their value here. I was just like, man, you don't volunteer to do the free shows for the charity events. You don't do the open houses. You're not a soldier, like I call them. And I'll be like, no, I mean, it is what it is. But I've had guys that have been here for a decade or 5 years and have done hundreds of shows. And I'm like, dude, absolutely, man. That's not even I'm sorry, you even had to ask me. I should have just bumped you. You know what I mean? So it's a feeling thing for me.
Love it.
Good stuff, man. Well, as always, we really appreciate you guys. I hope you are enjoying the podcast so far. Please let us know. That's the main thing with podcasts. I was thinking about this the other night when we were getting ready to, start talking about the launch. It's the one thing, like social, you can post something and you get immediate reaction.
Right.
They love it, or they say something, or they react to it. Like podcasting is a little different. You know what I mean? So whether it's going to be in the Facebook group or the website or wherever, please DM us, on our individual Instagrams or whatever. Let us know if you're enjoying this, because it is definitely not a instant gratification kind of post,
Right.
if you will.
And what segments do you think are working for you that you'd like to see more of, less of?
Yeah.
Whatever. We're working on new jokes, so we'll work that in and try to get some more material there. But
Thank
until
you,
next
guys.
time.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
See ya.